All right, fellas. After 10 years of being a trainer, I'm going to explain exactly why most men won't lose body fat now. I know you guys love this topic, or you guys hate this topic, or you guys get mad when I talk about this topic, but this is the reality of it, and this is what most people struggle with. So here's the thing, man. Like this, I've talked to a lot of people on the phone. I've talked to a lot of people in the gym. People ask me questions all the time. People ask me questions on Instagram DMs, TikTok, all that stuff. What I see over and over again, day after day, day in and day out, year after year, doesn't matter what year it is, 2016, 2020, 2022, 2025, even now, all I see is people asking the same questions over and over. What they're asking is, yeah, man, like, how can I get there without doing this? How can I get there without doing this? Basically, how can they get results without, going through the pain? Like people will say, hey, man, I get what you're saying about nutrition. What can I do to get lean without, without changing my nutrition? And the answer to that is you can't skip the nutrition. The nutrition is so fucking important because what people don't realize when they're working out, when they're going to the gym, when they're doing, cardio, when they're doing all these things, what they don't realize is that it's not about the calories you burn. It's about the deficit that you're in. So yes, you can burn hella calories, guys. We burn calories at risk. You burn calories. That's cool. But if you're not eating less than you're burning, you will never, ever make fucking progress. All right. And I see that shit all the time. Here's the thing. Fat loss and being lean, all that stuff comes from a lean mindset. If you don't consistently have a lean mindset, you're not going to consistently be lean. It's not that deep. All right. Like I always say, it's not that deep. Merch coming soon, by the way, but it's literally not that deep. If you're not doing what you need to do in the gym, and in the kitchen, if you don't have your lean mindset turned off every single day, you're not going to make it where you want to make it to. Now, I saw someone say that, and it's a very good analogy, right? It's he said you can't clock out of the lean mindset, right? You always have to be in a lean mindset. You don't go home and be like, you know what, I'm done being lean for the day, and then you eat unhealthy. Because guess what? Your body is going to look like what you do 90% of the time. So if you eat healthy for half the day and then you eat unhealthy for half the day, you're probably going to be fat as shit like everybody else. But when you're eating good 90% of the time, eating what you're supposed to 90% of the time, that's when you're going to look lean. You have to embody this lifestyle, embody this mindset. This is not something you turn off like, oh, now I have kids. Now I can't, now I can't eat healthy. That makes no fucking sense. Now, if you're doing 2 days, 7 days a week, and then you have kids and you want to spend more time than them, cut it back to 3 to 4 days, right? One time a day. It could be at home, it could be at home workout, but still locking on your nutrition because that's where it really comes down to. So many people make excuses like, hey man, like I'm a truck driver, I can't get lean. It's like, dude, a lot of truck drivers I've talked to get more steps than I do. I know it's embarrassing, but guess what? Guess what the difference is? Nutrition. All right. They might get 3K steps a day. It's nothing crazy. But I might get 2K or something like that. I'm on Zoom calls all day and shit like that. But my nutrition's on point. I'm not eating more than I'm burning, right? So if your activity level goes down, change your nutrition, reduce your nutrition. Why are you eating so much fucking food if you're not doing a lot of movement? You see what I'm saying? That's what it really comes down to. People don't seem to understand that concept. They think that you have to be doing ab workouts to see abs. You have to do a bunch of, cardio in the gym. You have to spend 3 hours in the gym. I'm not spending 3 hours in the gym. If you had to spend 1.5 hours plus in the gym every single day, I just would have zero results, all right, because that's too fucking long. You just have to be efficient with your time, and you have to prioritize what you want. A lot of people will also say things like, dang, man, I need some more fat burning workouts, or I need to burn more fat in the gym. You don't need to burn more fat. If you're gaining weight, you're eating too damn much food, all right? Your portion sizes are too big, period. And another thing is, specifically in America, all right, I need to make a whole video about this, but specifically in America, the standards are ridiculous, all right? This is like by far the fattest nation not on earth, in fucking history, bro. So, and the reason is because, first of all, women have this idea of, oh, I'm thick, and they're just fat as shit, right? Their body fat percentage is 50, and they just have a big ass stomach. And then dudes are like, nah, man, I can't be below 200. And they're 201, 40% body fat. It's like, what the fuck, bro? So it's this concept in their head that they have to be big, but in reality, it's really just cope for overeating, right? And that aligns with your standards. So generally, if I have a client come to me, the way I've gotten them to go from out of shape to lean, because I've had a lot of clients lose belly fat, lose body fat, get lean. It's because they change the concept and perspective that they have. When it comes to fat loss and weight loss, they change their perspectives on both of those things. By the way, link is in the description for training, but they change their perceptions of both of those things. So instead of looking at, okay, I got to go to the gym to burn calories, I have to starve myself to lose weight, they start to realize like, okay, I need to go to the gym to build muscle, relieve stress, and I need to make sure I'm eating in a deficit so I can lose fat. I'm not just trying to lose weight, because you can lose 0 pounds in a month, but lose a lot of fat. All right. Weight loss does not equal fat loss, guys. Weight loss does not equal fat loss. All right. You can be gaining muscle and losing fat. If you gain a pound of muscle, you lose a pound of fat, 0 pounds on the scale, but you still lost fat. All right. So when you shift your mindset over to fat loss instead of weight loss, you will have a more long-term mindset, and you will focus on the process more than you'll focus on just instant results. So getting rid of that instant gratification is super, super important when it comes to getting lean. All right. Now, Usually when I make these videos, there's always someone that says something like, "Oh, like he could have just said blah 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 in 5 seconds," or he could have made it shorter. He didn't have to yap for that long. Generally, it's someone who's fat without a profile picture. All right. And then someone else will say stuff like, making excuses. They'll be like, "Hey man, like you don't understand. Like my life is hard. You're not the president of the United States. Shut the fuck up, bro." Everyone that says that shit, they never have a busy schedule, anyways, and they have no motion. Nothing's fucking going on in their life. Like, yeah, they have one kid. They're not even raising the kid properly. That's number one. Number two, they have their wife. Their wife doesn't fucking like them. Number three, they spend all their free time watching Netflix, watching sports, eating ice cream, right? That's what's getting you fat. The eating ice cream and the being sedentary when you could be doing a session. Like, it's that simple. All right. At the end of the day, if someone has excess fat, it's because they're overeating. So the base concept you want to understand, right? If you are trying to get lean, is that the reason you're not lean is because of you. And the reason you will get lean is because of you. Every pound of fat that you have is earned, not given. I don't give you a pound of fat. God doesn't give you a pound of fat. You earn that shit by eating in a surplus. 3,500 calories. Surplus at the end of the week is going to be 1 pound of fat. So all of you guys gaining 10, 100, 150 pounds of fat, you guys are just eating, hella food and you're overeating. That's what's going on. All right. I don't want to hear about this insulin resistance stupid shit. Everyone's saying, "Oh my God, I have insulin resistance." Then why don't you fucking get rid of it by eating the right foods and losing fat? All right. Work on losing visceral fat by lifting weights, getting some exercise, and eating in a deficit. People complain about insulin resistance and then they're like, "Can I eat carbs?" Nigga, you're eating 400 grams of carbs a day. That's how you have insulin resistance. And as you type the question, you're eating cookies. Like, that shit's stupid as hell to me. If you want to get rid of insulin resistance, it's literally one of the easiest things to get rid of. All right. The amount of clients I've had get rid of insulin resistance, it's literally not even that hard. You just change your habits. But if you're not willing to change your habits, do not expect it to go away. All right. When you change your habits, right? When you don't maintain, because right now your habits are maintaining your fat. So if you have belly fat, you have, excess fat in your lower back, or you have more fat than you want, it's because of your current habits. Your current habits are stubborn, and that's why your fat is stubborn. So if you have insulin resistance, you are maintaining it and making it worse with your current habits. All right. If you want to reverse it, you have to do the opposite of what you're doing. So when you're hungry and you reach for ice cream, now you have to meal prep and make sure you have the right snacks, high protein snacks, fruits, vegetables, nuts, things like that, pause, instead of reaching for the ice cream. That's what it's going to take. You see what I'm saying? So if you want to be lean, you got to do lean shit. People who are lean do lean shit. People who are fat don't do lean shit. It's not that deep. Like, a lot of people will say like, "Nah, man, like, it's not fair. I'm obese and I run a lot." Nigga, I don't give you. If you really do run a lot, which I've never seen an obese person run a lot. They just don't fucking run a lot. That's why they're obese. It's that simple. That's number one. Number two, even if you run a lot, you'll lose weight, but you might not lose fat, right? If you're not in deficit, you won't even lose weight if you're not in a deficit anyways. So I see a lot of people run pretty hard and then overeat, and they don't, they stay fat. Or I see people on the treadmill, Stairmaster, for 1 hour talking about, "Oh, I'm doing this for my heart health." No, you're not, because you're eating like shit, right? And I'm not doing cardio, but guess what? I'm eating healthy, so my heart health is better than yours because of my nutrition. Your nutrition, even though you're doing cardio, is creating visceral fat because you're eating excess fat and unhealthy fats and fried foods and canola oil. So now you have more visceral fat and plaque in your arteries and shit, versus me, who doesn't do as much cardio as you, but I watch what I eat. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be in the lean mindset 24/7. That means prioritize your sleep. That means watch what you eat. That means strength train, and don't overdo the gym. Stay locked in, fellas.